Hello Summoners our community and welcome to another Arena Rush video. We have 1 hour and 2 minutes left and we're starting off in G2, so pretty high. But before we are going to do anything, I will first need to change my defense and some runes because for this week I was running some Triton defense, but for Rush Hour I am going to change this to some Lewis stall defense, just because I think this is the most annoying thing I can make right now. And this also means I do not need a fast Swift set or any fast runes for my defense. So yeah, this means I can speed up all my fast boosters. And this is what I am going to do first. So now before we begin, I'm first going to change my defense to the same one that I've been running the past few rush hours, which is the most annoying kind of stall defense I can make right now. So this also means that the Swift set or the fast runes that are on my Triton from the defense I run midweek are free, and this also means that I can improve all my other Swift sets for offense, so I'm going to do that first. Alright, and now we can begin. So we are starting off with some Lucian food basically. I think this is still from someone who is either not tryharding or still has not changed his midweek defense, because I mean everything is very squishy. Yes, you have 30% dark lead, but also there's no speed threat, so anyways. Then next on the list we have some Justina cleave food, just because even though we have Bianchel here, Bianchel on Christina without defense break doesn't do much, and there's no defense break here. The best case scenario for this defense of course would be that Triton strips, and then maybe Bianchel will also strip, and when somebody gets frozen, someone resets someone, but since none of them except Triton will have high accuracy, you can just cleanse with Delphi, and then maybe you will have to wait one turn, but pretty safe I would say. And even if Bianchel procs, you can tank with Galleon. Next we have also some kind of Leo defense, which maybe looks a bit scary because of the Berkelt, but since Berkelt got nerfed, she's really unreliable with his strip and pushback, so I'm just gonna take the risk, because from experience I know that it's pretty small now that she can actually strip and push back the correct target to really mess up this team. And even if I still have provoke for one turn from Lamiela, so everything is fine. Of course you could maybe go for some attack bar pushback or something, but you would have to outspeed her in the first place, and for this you probably need some kind of speed lead, because I think even though this is a Leo defense, they still build her on Swift to cut before Tiana or something, so yeah. When we have some Triton tanky defense, which also has kind of limited damage, because Devaraya can do a lot of damage if he's fully stacked, but this is basically just fodder for a dot team, at least from turn 2 perspective. I did not mention this actually in all of the previous videos, but of course you could all of this could just be beaten if you outspeed the Triton, when you can just go like, well, standard defense break and Zyros, I guess, and then they all die if you somehow can get attack buff in, maybe if you have like Kabila Neftis something. But yeah, this does not take too long either, and I do not have to contest speed in any way, so much easier. When this is all solution food, well, 118 base speed versus 120, but since I have my fastest, well, the fastest set of all the boosters, not my fastest overall, I think, on Kabila, I'm kinda confident I can outspeed this at least. So yeah. And then the last one on the list is some sort of tanky defense. However, this is not really good without Dio because you can just easily make some kind of attack bar control and it dies. And even this, well, these units with Leo are would still be bad. So it's just the Fire Beetle and Veladril don't make any sense here. And yeah, it is. I mean, I have Azima here, but you could use all kinds of other death breakers. It's just not too hard to beat this. When we have this guy again, which I've Lucianed earlier, so I'm gonna Lucian him again just to climb in rank. Now this is kind of interesting, and actually, on first glance, I thought this was Water Beetle. Maybe I should have put this element thing on, the thing that shows the element rather than the level. And this is why I am going to be really confused about what happens now, which is that he stripped the attack buff from the Pang back even though he didn't move, and I was like, wait, what? Is it revenge? Water Beetle, but he didn't take a turn, and then I realized, oh no, it's light, and I got just unlucky. But since Irene here is very squishy, and I don't know, maybe none of them had runes or something, I'm not sure. This doesn't really matter. By the way, this kind of offense, also you could take Samaf lead, but it's more or less the same, is got a pretty nice buff in the balance patch from I think it was the 19th of uh, of July, because they increased the rate of defense break on the Dark Twin Angels by 25%, and it's 2 hits, so your chance of defense breaking is pretty good now. Like, before I only used the team if there were like 3 or even 4 targets that I could safely hit with Fangback to wipe everything. But now I would still go in if there was just 1 target. So yeah, I think they are a really good arena cleave unit now, the Dark Twin Angels. Yeah, meanwhile I'm doing some evolution action here. It's full speed defense, but nothing anti-illusion, nothing that is tanky in some way. So you can just use 30 if you need Kabila. And this on the bottom, here I am thinking if I could somehow make turn 2 stuff work. And this sort of offense I have kind of developed on my own. I don't know if other people use this maybe, but mainly inspired from Siege, because their common turn 2 offense is John, Fire Pony, and Leo, and I've seen Fire Pony going very crazy there many times, and when I thought, okay, can I somehow make this work in Arena as well? So even though there's Tianang, since the Laura does not have will, I can just push her back. Of course, this would be more difficult if Laura had will, and then I would at least, even if I won, not hit this again, but since now I know that Laura is not on will, I can just do it. Also, mistake here, which I will not fix in this rush hour because of time, but I will fix this in the next week, is that Mephisto should move after the Fire Pony, because even though his skill 2 boosts, most Psamarth are on Nemesis, and then I'm going to boost Psamarth to more than I boost myself, and yeah, also because Tianlang is there. And then, as you saw, Psamarth put glancing on Helena, and yeah, now we are in this situation, also with some unlucky procs. And in particular, yeah, I need to slow down with the Wind Demon, but also the I think he does not have enough crit rate. Yeah, so here when Leo dies, I have lost. I was trying to see, okay, maybe I can somehow burst here, but since for Arena I have ruined Mephisto specifically for some Leo comp, I have no chance. So I go in again because I know what I did wrong. Because this would have been a win if I didn't hit Samaf with, or if I did not use skill 2 in this situation here, so I use skill 1 instead. And also, Tianang might counter Helena, but Helena just has so much attack by generation, and she also pushes back that usually it works. But here I got. Did I get revenge despair stunt, or was it just normal despair stunt? I don't know. Yeah, it's still not working as intended. I I tried this team a few times against comps like this in the last week and the week before. It would work really fine. I think the issue here is really that the either the Psamarth is on a really high damage build, or maybe I need to change artifacts on the Fire Unicorn. I'm not sure. Something needs to be redone with the runes. Yeah, so then this is another loss. I mean, it's not too devastating because it's still a lot of time left. Yeah, so 47 minutes, it's whatever. Um, so I'm checking the runes because the unicorn took a lot of damage, but I guess it's just because of the transformation. And when I thought, okay, I know this Laura is not on will, so I could just do Christina Cleave with Tiana because Tianlang will, well, the chance of Tianlang messing me up is really low, so, and as you can see, yeah, I can just do this. I don't know why I did not do this immediately. This would have been two unnecessary losses avoided. Okay, so next one we have Triton defense, but the Undirt here does not really make sense in my opinion because you already have a speed threat. And I mean, okay, you can say I'm putting the Undirt here because my Triton is slow, and even if people outspeed me, they have to somehow outspeed the Triton and make the Undirt not cut, but I'd say the moment they outspeed the Triton, you usually have a team that has enough follow-ups that it's gonna be fine anyways. So the problem is that the CC of Amrad is pretty unreliable, and as many other of these strike defenses, it just lacks damage the whole thing. So you just die to dots, especially since Amrad cycling will just help him die to dots even faster. So yeah, now we have this defense. So I think this is actually, uh, I think this is good. So you have annoying LD unit, which produces, well, which makes it pretty hard for turn 2, unless you have Tiana specifically rune for this, and when you have some Nemesis healer, you have Triton, Speed Threat, and Vanessa. So here also, yeah, this can sometimes happen. So Tiana, not Tiana, the attack order and the attack order of Gallion and Christina got swapped because of resistance from Titan, which will steal me quite a few turns because I need to wait. So now we can do the combo, but yeah, this is also pretty good. So the Ariel is runed very tanky on Nemesis, not fast, because if he was on similar speed as the others, I'm sure he would have died. Well, okay, there's also probably minus wind artifacts there, but Christina did so much damage to the others. He must be like full tank, no speed, and solely relying on the Nemesis to cut. So I think it's good from the concept. Of course, depending on LDs, you can do better stuff, but yeah, you can see I'm wasting quite some time here because he's just too tanky. Fortunately, Leo keeps proccing, so I'm just stacking dots and then he dies. Well, it would have been smarter probably to just hit him immediately with Christina skill 4, so that he takes both hits, but I was trying to make sure that Vanessa dies. So this is another kind of defense which is also, I think, pretty popular in more lower ranks. But again, you don't have any damage here, so you could also go for dots. It would probably be a little bit slower. That's why I go for Christina Cleave. But yeah, you can see like there's no threat. I mean, what can they do if even if I don't have will runes? Okay, maybe then Triton can start with S2 and silence me, but the dispatch Amdot is not really a threat against like full shield build combos because well, okay, maybe even if Triton strips everyone, it's just that especially after the balance patch, Christina can also now cleanse an ability effects for herself. So to disable the Christina team, you need to somehow despair stun both Delphoy and Gallion, and that's just so unlikely, especially since this assumes that Triton uses skill 3 correctly. But anyways, now we have some kind of lower team, and since I have Azima, I can, and also Arcana, I can do this special AoE Oblivion debuff comp with Arcana's passive, which allows Tiana to cut right after lower. And this is much faster than all the turn 2 stuff I can do against this, so I'm always using this. Even though there's the chance that something gets resisted. Oh well, maybe. Actually against this one right there I didn't need to land Oblivion, but sometimes this offense can just die from resistance. And now we have this guy again with the Ariel. But since now I know that Ariel is really tanky and can steal me a lot of time, I am just going to focus him with Christina, so to make sure that he dies. Okay, this is a bit annoying, of course, that now we miss the defense break on Giselle, but yeah, we crit everywhere, and when all of them die, and since she used skill 3 anyways, it's not a threat. And then we have, I think it's a vice leader from Skyfall actually. So the guild that got rank 2 in the current siege journey on global. And he's running a double Camilla Ariel defense, which is, I would say, the most popular version of this kind of defense. But especially since he does not have will runes except on Ariel, you can just bomb this. So if this was all will, or maybe one Camilla had like double will or something, I think then this is a really annoying style defense, because then you need to put a stripper on the bomb team, but this will take up a slot and you will have one bomber less or no attack buff, which is also not an option. And here, this is by the way already worst case scenario, because this Ariel was resisting. I don't know what happened a few seconds ago actually, but I think he resisted something, but yeah. it's not hard to kill one unit with his team. You just need to wait one rotation till all the bombs come back up, and none of his units will be able to deal any damage. So now here we have my special anti-Leo team. However, this guy, I'm not sure if it's just wrong speed tuning or if he did it on purpose against such teams to make the Dark Monkey go first, but in any case, that's something that at least me would really surprise. And also it was pretty close. I think the Garuda could have just died there, and then I lose. So yeah, but this defense would also die to dots. I just went for this offense because it's faster. And now we have another Triton defense, but it's all stall units, no damage, so especially with turn 2 Tiana, I can just get rid of the threat state and the defense break from the water beetle, and then I can just one-shot this as usual. Okay, so Triton moves before me because of the Abellio boost. Yeah, and now we can just use skill 4, and well, the damage reduction is pretty big on the water beetle, but even with death break, the reason, yeah, I think the reason that nobody died was Christina was not fully stacked, maybe. Otherwise, well, maybe he does have really tanky runes, I don't know. But I should have went for the Oblivion on him. Also, what you could do is to use the Wind Dragon Knight, not Dragon Knight, not Leo, the Wind Dragon Warrior, which now reduces the HP of everybody he strips by 30%, so instead of Diana. Then of course the strip is not irresistible, but maybe if you only have one Tiana or something, this is also a really good replacement. And then I would have definitely one-shot him. Okay, so now we have this guy again, and I'm just going to use this team, which worked before. And Leo is on Vio, so I can even push back multiple units. And now we can do the usual combo. Also, Tianlang here is not a problem for Tiana because he already moved, so nothing will happen. And then we just need to deal with the Tianlang. Yeah, nice AoE stun. Except Christina can now cleanse herself. I don't know why I counters did this. I don't think Christina needed a buff. She's already really strong. I'm not sure if you can say even she's OP. Maybe you can, but the most people are going for turn 1 stuff in arena, so she's not so commonly used compared to how strong she is, I think so. I don't know. So here we have another Triton team, but double speed threat and then Verat, and Verat of course is ruined full on defense, so he will just die to Lucian. Although this is not too bad in this case, since I need to kill the Verat with the Carlos, which is hard because water unit and high defense, but I managed to do it. I could have, of course, also gone for the Ren, but then this would have taken some time because Verat would probably freeze me for like 2 turns, and then I would need to wait for Carlos to be able to move again. And we have again this water beetle guy, and since for some reason Christina did not do enough damage, maybe it was really just because of a water beetle passive, even though the damage reduction is getting a pretty big hit if you death break him. I will just move to dots because then I don't have to care about this at all and just spam him with debuffs, and there's no speed, no damage threat anyway, so nothing he can do. Maybe it would have been smarter even to use the water Triss to spread dots or something by just them moving, but yeah, you can also of course use the standard dot offense with Fire Hacker, Hairgang, or maybe Veramos would be better here, and then Lamiela Ember, but maybe this would actually not be a good idea here because Abel would cut and then cleanse. Now this is also an offense I think which is pretty good if you don't know about this team because you can't go for turn 2, and which is especially good if you have Triton on like crit damage or high attack, because then you will one shot with Squishy Garuda, which is just built very squishy to cut with Nemesis. But this is not the first time this happens, so I've built a second Garuda because I mean it's just a water Garuda, you have like infinitely many of them, so, and the runes don't need to be any good, it's just will double Nemesis and squishy. So yeah, I have one which is slightly tankier, so that if I have a Trident that does more damage which kills my 2-star Garuda, I can use a 3-star version and be fine. And now we have Messiah again, which will get bombed. Here I think the Xian is really the best bomber. Well, you could do 2 Johns, but first of all I only have 1 John, and also Xian can tank Leo forever because of his passive, so if for some case it's like Rage Leo or Violent Crit Damage Leo, then you don't run into problems. And yeah, as I said, Ariel will just die. Because even there, if he wires, I can reset him with skill 2 from John. Now, this is Barion's defense. Maybe some of you know that name. He was, I think, known as pretty, or his account was known to be like pretty insane a few years ago. I don't know if he took a break or something, but recently he reappeared. I don't even know actually if it's the same person. Maybe he sold his account, I don't know. But what I do know is that his Psamarth is on some Bruiser Violent build, which is pretty unique, which I think is like pretty creative. And here I have again the problem that my Mephisto is faster, because if he wasn't, then I could push back first and then use Mephisto skill 2 to finish off a Psamarth, so that he doesn't annoy me. And the Tianang here is again, I did a lot of testing with this team against Tianang comps, and I don't know, I think Helena and Leo, it's just too OP. Like the attack bar generation, even if you cut it in half with Tianang, it's just dumb. And yeah, maybe I could also try Christina Cleavier, but the times I've tried it against Barian specifically, the violent Psamarth really uh yeah, really was difficult to beat because he kept like disrupting my team. Then we have another Dark Gojo comp, and I will just use this Garuda team. So I'm hitting the Dark Gojo because sometimes they make him like really tanky. So this is, I think, also the best version for defense, to just make him tanky, because he's like a specific turn 2 hard counter if you don't use this team. So the only thing he needs to do is use skill 3 and not die before he gets to this. But this was not squishy, so when we have this guy again with Nasha, also Lucifer. First of all, Lucifer defenses with Leo are trash anyways, unless you have some crazy other LDs that somehow work around the usual counter with Megan. But even here, I mean, I think there can be some good Lucifer devs, but not this, so it's just it just dies the moment you outspeed it, and everything will die to Lucian, so not a threat. So so I skipped this Jeff guy with the Perna and Shazam because somewhere in my mind I had something I remembered that there was some kind of trap, or maybe his runes were good. I know I lost to him some rush hours ago, and or something was there, so bad memories. I just skipped it. Then here this is a Leo defense, but there's really nothing good to stall. I mean, the Veromos and Will and very slow is cool and all, but you can just like do Christina Cleave, but you have one slot free even because you don't have to take Leo because the enemy has already Leo. So I can just use Lamiela or something else to clean up, and it's just food. This defense I think is pretty popular for people that have Velasca, which is a pretty strong unit because she can just wipe you with a few procs. And I have fought this guy a few times during the week, and I figured out that Christina Cleave is the best way to beat him, at least with my stuff. Well, you could, of course, do some Tiana comp, but Velasca is usually so tanky. Yeah, you can see I did 44k damage, and she still has like a quarter or a fifth of her HP, so he has like 60k something HP. So I would have to go for something with Zyros and 33 lead and Tiana, but if I don't reset her with Zyros, and she will probably don't die, because if I was this guy I would put minus fire on her, because I would expect people to come in with Zyros, then I'll probably lose. So this is why I go for Christina Cleave, especially you have double Oblivion and Christina Cleave, and this defense was full of Oblivion targets, so yeah, then we have another Dark Gojo defense. And yeah, but since nothing is insanely tanky here, I can just kill them. Actually, I was so lucky to crit with all hits on Vanessa, so it's just instant win. When we have arena defense, but I'm deciding to go for this again because I know it's a safe win. Actually, I don't know, I could have just went for the arena defense and go for some kind of snipe comp maybe. Although, I mean, I don't know, the light beetle, I think most people don't consider it to be really good, and I'm not sure myself if it's good or not, but this kind of RNG factors on defense always scare me, because he can just randomly attack someone and then strip, and it can mess up the combo. So you would have to hit it with non-hit strip, which is Tiana, but the Irene has more base speed than Tiana, so maybe you get outsped. And okay, I guess you could put like Vanessa lead, and then Irene will hit Vanessa and you will be fine because you don't need Vanessa for the combo. I guess that would have been the solution. But yeah, so here I hit this guy again with the fast monkey because I did not remember the name of a account, and I get surprised again. But since I don't know if the monkey could also kill the other Garuda, because the Garudas are only tuned against Tritons. So for a monkey, you don't know, maybe the monkey is actually in crit damage or something. I just play it safe and go for .com because Byung-chul, if he's like not on rage crit damage or something, it's fine because the Veramos is on Nemesis, and even if Byung-chul hits onto Deathbreak on him, he can take a few hits. Then there's Barian, but I'm skipping it because it was kinda a mess with the last attack, so I need to fix turn order first in this offense. So I am taking another free win against this double Camilla Leo team. Yeah, and even, I mean, here also Leo has Will, but this is kind of unnecessary. Leo in this defense is just to make it impossible to hit with like speed scaling stuff like Zonya and the like. So you don't need him on Will, you don't need him to survive for really long, you just need him to be tanky enough. And then that's it. So I would put like enhanced sets or something on him. And yeah, here I was a bit too. I used my skills too early. I should have waited for the entire combo to be up because now I have everything after another, and then Ariel can just heal with the heal buffs, and I just waste time. Now I'm fine because I have 2 bombs, and if he procs, he gets 1 bomb, gets stunned, and the next time he gets another bomb. So, but I could have saved like 2 full rotations of a team if I just waited for everything to be up. But also in this situation, Fran is so good there because you also have a skill 2 to cleanse someone. Then we have the guy with Velasca again, and I'm going to go for Christina again. And even more lucky, nobody got reset, so I don't need to even wait a turn or something. So this, however, this is a bit, yeah, would have been a bit dangerous because Velasca did not get death broken by Galleon, but since I learned for Oblivion, it's gonna be fine because it's an Oblivion unit. I say that, but Christina nearly dies. So when I was thinking, okay, what is the highest danger? And yeah, it was Velasca. But this revenge from Juno was unfortunate because this made Velasca get her passive because she revenge killed Galleon somehow, and then I just die. It's like a really hard snowball unit, Velasca, so yeah. But I mean, as it's like with turn 1 teams, Anji can happen if you miss some defense breaks or other debuffs. Sometimes you just lose. I don't think this means that it's better to take this offense into this defense. It's just unlucky chain of events. And maybe I should have focused another target in the previous offense. I think I should have went for Velasca first because she did not get Oblivion. Here I don't need her Oblivion because I don't need to focus her because she's Oblivion, but yeah, I think also here still, I think it's just better if I would immediately go on Velasca because as long as she's on the field, things can easily get out of control. And yeah, but now I have skill 4 ready, and when everyone dies. This defense, I mean, you could also snipe it, but she has so much HP, I'm afraid to go into Velasca with Bethany, and okay, I could go for double Zonya, but then it will take at least a while because there's Psamath and also Savannah with the dismount, and then maybe with some procs at least one Sonya can die, and yeah. So here I was thinking, okay, oh no, it's not Baron, never mind. It's the guy with a non-will Laura actually again, and since I know this worked last time, I'm just going to go for this again. So my Tantutiana has quite low defense actually, but more, I think like plus 18k something HP, just so that her nemesis will easily proc. And then this is pretty straightforward. This I will not hit because there is the Xiana with the AoE reset, and I need to somehow survive 2 strips without getting completely controlled. But when there is this Laura defense, which I think I hit before, yeah, so here Laura derped and used skill 2, but that's even better because then my Tiana just moves anyways, because all the other 2 monsters or 3 monsters are not fast, and yeah, you can see even if Biancho cuts when he already has Oblivion here. Oh, I think this could have failed here if I miss both stun and Oblivion on Arcana, but this would not happen if Laura also didn't derp, so the win rate on this is okay, I think. Because else I would have to go for some dot team, and then this will take some time because I will get stunned probably first by Laura and other things, and then it's annoying. Here, of course, this Laura team, this team I just used with Arcana against Laura will not work because Arcana's passive boosts Tiana, but the boost will be cut in half by Tianang, and then it will not be enough for Tiana to cut, and then Tianang will move, and probably Giselle as well, and then it's over. So this only works against Laura teams without Tianang. Now this is the guy with Ariel again. So I just keep hitting the bottom of my list, especially if I see defenses that I have already beaten before with Rush Hour, so I know it's a free win, so I'll take that. Yeah, this defense also has a problem that it's kind of lacking damage. I don't, especially the Camilla, I don't like the Camilla here. Camilla should be something else that brings more damage or more disruption, but also makes it somehow hard with cleave stuff. Or wait, maybe with dots or something, I don't know what would be best there. But yeah, actually maybe, yeah, something with like attack by control, I guess. Attack by control or stun, but probably attack by control in some way. Like maybe maybe he could go for Payanya or something actually, because this is also another style unit, and okay, Payanya's attack bar that he gains is also affected by Tianang, but well, Biancho could work too if we have like defense break from Tianlang, but I'm not sure. Also, I'm not sure flip some off there. So yeah, this Nyx defense right there, I skip it because I can immediately see that it's going to be annoying with Nyx and Veromos, and when I don't actually even know if the Nyx is like on Swift or not, because sometimes people make Nyx actually also really fast, and you can dot it mostly. With Veramus you can't even dot it, so I would have I would have had to go for the Carlos Lucian team, but since there's Veramos, I was afraid that maybe the Veramos is somehow really tanky on Nemesis and when something happens, but I usually dodge Nyx because it's just another layer of RNG, which is annoying. Unless you can somehow snipe him, so if there's like no speed threat, you can usually snipe it, but this guy on the button I also know, and I did not remember exactly what the issue there was. I think I uh, I said I know him. I think what I mean is that his Triton was also somehow killing actually both Mega Rulers. I'm not sure. So I'm not taking any risks because I've met him in the past rush hours somewhere, and I know I lost to him for some reason, but I didn't remember why. So I just moved on. And this defense is also the has the same issue as the others, that you don't have like any protection because these Camilla defenses have damage reduction from Camilla passive. So it's very hard to kill the Camillas. Even if you go in with Christina Cleave, she will not do enough damage if the Camillas are runed correctly. And since there are two Camillas, you would need to Oblivion them both, but then there's also the Ariel and Ariel lead, and it's really hard to nuke them besides bombs. But what he just had was like some units that were runed very tanky, but I can just turn 2, strip, and then what is going to happen? Also, he didn't have the lead that Ariel has. This is why the defense is built with water monsters basically, because Camilla plus Ariel combo is just something no other element can reproduce. At least I haven't seen anything from other elements that is as strong as this. And now we are waiting for the Oblivion to come up to kill this Vanessa, to kill this Camilla. And we have Baron again. I'm not sure if I try with Steam again. In this team, if Helena would move first, then I would at least have defense break on the Tianang, and then the damage on Tianang, or if Samaf gets death broken somehow by Helena, then it would be even better. But the goal here is to kill Tianang as fast as possible so Helena can get to her full potential. Yeah, because else this can happen, and then now it's already pretty rough. So lucky I don't die there. And also lucky proc. And also lucky that, well, it's not lucky because Diana was defense broken and the AI focuses the target that's defense broken rather than the one that is low. But yeah, now the only way I win is to get somehow stacks on Mephisto really fast. Yeah, you can see that some of his Vio, and his Vio actually saved me because he gave Mephisto a stack. And now I will win because They do not really have too much damage. They'll just use their skill 3 and I will just need to wait. With Leo to have skill 2 in the threshold where he can one-shot the Giselle, but it's a waste of time obviously. So there goes Giselle, and then I can just kill the Triton. I think this can work, I just need to improve the rules and the turn order. So here I was thinking, but the problem is that I cannot make sure that Xiana doesn't move, and then it's just I don't see really any way I can recover, and dot team against that is also really hard because you will rarely move because of all the attack by control, and then yeah, so I will just skip that. Meanwhile we are hitting the guy with Ariel again. Is Xiana defense? Of course it's like not unbeatable. I'm really sure there's some Leo comp that I did not think about in Rush Hour. But well, you could for example go for like Leo and then full damage more and maybe Windhacker or something, or Lamela, just to cut in right after the Triton, dismount the Xiana, kill the Psamarth, maybe have Mephisto so that Psamarth doesn't revive. But this can be a bit tricky depending on how tanky the Xiana is. And of course you could hit it with chilling, but I don't do chilling comms. It's really hard to speed tune and you are really depending on RNG if you land strip and pushback, and it's a bit too unreliable for my taste. So yeah, so then this here is just more Christina food, like no damage, like Triton, Camilla, Juno, no damage. And this guy, I don't know actually if this guy there with Xiana got rank 1 would be reasonable, because he's on the bottom of the list all the time. And he's pretty, I think he was like 20 something points in front of me, so yeah. Here we have at least one Camilla, but the Amduat doesn't do too much. I mean, you can, even though there's Leo, you can still go in with like Shield Will comes, and that will usually have Leo, but you save one slot because Leo is on the enemy team, and then you can put like one Leo counter into there, like Carlos, some Fire Cassandra or something on a slow full damage build, and it's just too many options. And here I actually I'm not sure if it's the first time, but for some other Christina Cleave I used my damage Leo. I have 3 Leos, so one for the defense, which is on a full tank build. Then I have a Leo which is also pretty tanky, but a lot of crit rate, and the on Vio Seal to make sure I really push back enemies, and then I have one on full damage. Well, not rage full damage, but like Vampire Nemesis on crit damage and a lot of attack. Yeah, so this defense there with Manon also I skipped because it's Christina food, but at this point I was really trying to get the most points per minute as I can, because I think just where you saw that I was rank 2 actually, and I was jumping between rank 4 and rank 3 all the time for the last minutes. And since there's not too much time left, I really have to maximize the amount of points that I get, because in the top of the league it's usually a handful of people fighting each other or like competing for who can cleave the fastest. And with turn 2, this is of course pretty hard if there's not a lot of targets you can like straightforward cleave with Christina cleave, where there's like nothing that can go wrong or cut, that you have to wait one turn somehow. Whereas for turn 1 stuff, of course, you if you know you outspeed, you can outspeed and just wipe them all the time. So yeah. So here I did not cleanse because I know that Galleon, looking at the attack bar, Galleon was pushed back and Christina was not, so Galleon moved after Christina. So I rather reset with Samar that he's dying from Christina's skill 4, and then I have to kill the Tianang individually. So yeah, there's like 5 minutes left. Yeah, 4.5 minutes. And I see some more Camilla defense. And this is really good actually. I was scared when I saw this for 1 second. I was like, oh shit, they are all on will. It's gonna take forever. But luckily, they were faster than my bombers, so it's not an issue. But if this guy made them like really slow, so I don't know, my bombers are like plus 80 something here in terms of speed. So if he made them really slow, I don't know why they had so much speed, but if I went after the bombers, then I would have to wait like another full rotation, and also Ariel will use skill 1 then and strip attack buff from John, or maybe he will strip immunity. So the optimal turn order would be Ariel being a bit faster than the Camilla, so that he can strip the attack buff or immunity from John, and if he strips immunity, then the Camillas can freeze or reset him with skill 1, which will stall even more time. So this is really good. I like it. Well, besides the speed, but yeah, and when I get lucky with a proc from Camilla killing herself, and now Leo just needs to die. You can see I'm rank 3. I think I was rank 2 a few minutes ago. So it's just a few people just fluctuating in the ranks depending on who's winning. Maybe someone loses to their defense, and maybe someone is a bit faster than the other. But also, if you hit people that are above or closer in rank to you, you get more points than hitting people that are below you, of course. So then you also need to be smart in choosing your enemies. Yeah, but this guy, I mean, I know I can beat him, so I just keep hitting him, especially since he's so close to me all the time. Like he was only 8 points below me, so I get, I think, plus 9. Then we have some more Arcana Azima action. When yeah, Dora is stepping again. And here, yeah, this is unlucky. I miss everything, but at least I don't get cut. Yeah, I was thinking which one to hit. I hit Giselle, but I think it would have been equally good or bad everywhere. I think it doesn't matter, but yeah, luckily Tamori hits enough stuff, and when we all die to the dots. I think here I could have just refreshed the list, and now for a moment I'm actually rank 1, and we have like 1 minute 30 left, and I'm desperately, I don't know why I just don't refresh the list. That would have been the best thing. Okay, now I do. And this guy, I already know. Yeah, see, I was like 3 points ahead of this guy with Xiana. So it's like really time is of the essence right now. And on the other hand, I can't just blindly hit something, because if I lose, I will drop to like rank 5 or something immediately. And now I just somehow need to survive in this spot for a minute. Okay, so I win, I get plus 7. Now I'm rank 3. and I have 30 minutes left, 30 seconds left, and I was trying to be quick looking for someone I can beat, and this guy hit me back. I don't know if he hit me back several times, but I know he was really close to me, so I was assuming it would I would get a lot of points. But now of course Leo's pushback gets resisted, and Tianlang, I think he pushed back Tiana, I'm not sure, but at least he stunned her, and now this is looking pretty bad in terms of time. Yeah, and when I also get procced on, and I think Tiana should have at least a bit more defense here. And I think now rush hour is already over, but yeah. Yeah, no, of course I lose, but then I pause and wait another minute to make very sure rush hour is over. Just that this battle does not count. But yeah, I'm not sure if I could have reached rank 1. Maybe there in the last minute I could have chosen my targets differently. Also, somewhere in the like mid section I had some unnecessary losses, but I'm not sure if this would be if this was really the issue, because I was going up and down anyways. Here I was looking in server time, so uh, and now rush hour is finished, or arena tally is completed. We have a new week. So I got G3, of course. That was not really what was the problem, but yeah. So I looked here and I was okay, high score rank 4, but my high score was rank 4 already. Okay, so what rank did I finish? And then I was confused at first, but yeah, I got rank 4 like I did in May, I think. Yeah, in the end of May. So I mean, it's not a bad result, of course, but I already got my hopes up a bit with being legend, because I was never legend in Rush Hour, or during Rush Hour at any point in the past. So yeah, you can see where I was ranked for, but I think it was pretty solid, especially if it was a really good example of what you can do with Ton 2 stuff in Rush Hour, because I think I used like once or twice in the beginning. I used like some kind of speed team. Like Revolution teams don't count because the defenses were just bad. But yeah, I used the Water Etsu, Dark Twin, Angel Pangback, I think like twice. And all the other attacks I used Eva Dots or Christina Cleave. So this is kind of proof that you do not need speed to get like really fast Swift sets to get high in arena ranks. It's mostly knowing team comps and what defense is susceptible to which offense, and when you can even hit accounts that are much stronger than you, because I can tell you, like, all the G3 guys have for sure much better rune quality than me, at least when it comes to like violence and swift sets. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any feedback you can leave it in the comments, and then see you next time.